What's happening? This is a late night live. Just wanted to tell everybody, man, just be thankful for getting up in the morning. Sometimes so many people didn't get up this morning, then so many other people are in worse situations than we are in. So we have to be thankful that we had our health and strength to be able to get up in the morning. I know a lot of y'all been missing me. On the live, but I've been like really busy. Not forsaking the job that I have or for my duty as an advocate, but just been busy with some things of my own and everything. So I want to take time to let everybody know that I'm still out here fighting for people. And the biggest thing that I have on my plate is trying to organize something for a rally for Quentin Sanders. So normally I don't advocate for state inmates, but his case is special, and he received such an unjust sentence that I think that we really need to rally around him. I want people to either go to my page, James Jones, or Lisa Riley page, or James Jones at the Reinvention Center, or Lisa Riley's page, and try to donate to GoFundMe. We're going to have a rally either in South Haven, or the destination is not set, but we will keep you posted. But we're working on it, and we're hoping that it's going to be in and around November. But back to me. I'm just hoping that my absence hasn't caused people to think that I've forgotten about my duty as an advocate. The thing is, it takes a lot of energy to advocate for people. So you have to do a lot of behind the scenes work. So the camera is good, but the camera is not always as effective as groundwork or the phone calls or reaching out and trying to contact people to get people on your team to get a particular. You see so many injustices going on that we forget, man. We forget about the people in prison. It's so easy for us to forget about the people that we still have incarcerated. It's so easy for us to miss everything that's going on around us with our African American men and boys who are either getting killed or get sent to prison for numerous of years for crimes that should be petty crimes, man. And there's so many people who are still left in federal prison. You got the Marcus Boyd, the Eric Gasson, and so many other, Jeremy Gage, who are still in, Evelyn Boza Papa, man. There's still so many people who are still incarcerated under unjust and unjust laws that we just, forget. Then we forget that it's a pandemic, man. These people still haven't seen their families since January, and the BOP is talking about October. We're talking about 10 months, man, where they haven't had a visit or physical contact with their families. So I can imagine I've only been home 9 months, and just thinking about all that I had missed and trying to catch up. Because sometimes you can go months and months without hearing from your people or seeing your people, that you take that precious time, that visit time, for granted. And I think that we as free people, even though we're struggling during this pandemic, even with the economic balance that we face every day, I still think that we need to get more focus on if we have somebody who are incarcerated. Most of the people on my page know that they either have somebody incarcerated, they either fight for somebody who is incarcerated, or they know the struggles of our people. I'm always trying to champion them to get out and vote, man, because this is going to be some crucial times, man. Our next administration is going to be crucial and incumbent upon us to get out and vote, man, so we can change how everything is now. You know what I mean? So, not to take anything for granted, I also want everybody to be mindful to take care of themselves. So no matter what's going on around you, man, just like take care of yourself, health-wise, spiritually, mentally. Man, we have to take care of ourselves so we can have that strength to push on, because it's going to get a whole lot rougher before it gets better. And people don't really realize that. With this, we got our kids doing virtual learning, and I know the teachers are stressed out. I know the parents are stressed out with the kids still at home. Everybody's trying to figure this thing out. And so it's it's been not necessarily frustrating, but it's been painstaking, so to speak. You know, when you have people, great people like Pauline Rogers who are fighting, like Hanifa Jones and Latara Smith and all the people. And then some of the people who were fighting, once their family came home, they like tossed in the towel, man. They kind of like stepped aside and, quit fighting. So, just because we get our loved ones home, I mean, to me, anybody who's suffering an unjust sentence, I consider my loved one. You know what I mean? Whether I know them or not, because they're doing time for a crime that should have been, so you still got people, some states who are from Colorado that are in jail and federal prison for marijuana crimes, but yet they made marijuana legal in Colorado. So you got people all over the country, man, that's serving 30 years to a life sentence for marijuana when they've made marijuana pretty much illegal, in a number of our states. So that's just the type of system that we have, where we have laws that still incarcerate people, yet you pass a law to make it legal for people to buy a certain amount of marijuana. It's just it's it's amazing to me, man, how our justice system can still justify continuously locking up so many of our people. How our justice system can still justify turning a blind eye to the malicious killing of our African American men and women, like the Breonna Taylor situation, and so many other situations that goes on around the country. And we only hear about a few of them, So just think, if the news media wasn't there, we didn't have the cameras reporting. This has been going on all the time. It's just that we have a heightened sense of camera presence with everybody with the iPhones and the cell phone, where people are catching things now. You're catching all the hidden racism between the different polices and the different people who seek to oppress us as a people. And so this is not to point the finger at any particular person, group, or anything. I think our country is so blatantly divided that we don't even see the hidden racism that's in and around us every day, from the pay scale to where African Americans are making a whole lot less and doing a whole lot more in the workforce. It's just so many other hidden things that are considered racism that we turn a blind eye to. And we think here in Mississippi, I can only speak for the area I'm in, we think that is okay. We think it's okay, so you have people who are more qualified making a lot less, and because of the different racial, I guess, the racial differences, you have whites making more than blacks who are way more qualified. And so, but we don't see these things, man. I pay attention to those things, not to stray away from my advocacy or anything like that, but we just have to be mindful of the hidden things that seeks to keep us down, that seeks to keep our young men and boys in prison, man. I've been paying attention to people. Man, the rate of incarceration for our young black boys is utterly ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. I'm talking about going to prison for getting a life sentence, man, at 14 and 15. And people think that Miller versus Alabama helped this situation. Man, somehow they're masking it. Somehow they're finding a loophole to get around it. But it's still a lot of teenagers who are still incarcerated and still getting life sentences for petty crime. Some of them are violent, but I still think that when a crime, let's just take Quentin Sanders, crime. He went to, I don't think that he got up that morning with everything that happened at the mall. I don't think he got up to intentionally kill anybody or intentionally hurt anybody, but yet the justice system they didn't give him a life sentence, but they gave him 51 years at the age of 17. So you're talking about him being 68 when he come out. So he had to do 51 years before he come up for parole. And so you telling me that a man, I've seen guys, man, during my incarceration that went home and came back with a murder and beat me back home again. I'm talking about a first-degree murder. I'm not talking about a second-degree or a vehicular homicide or anything. I'm talking about a first-degree murder. Came in, pled guilty, did 6 years, came back in, did another 6 years. So they did two bids for an intentional murder, while I served 23 years for a non-violent first-time drug crime. So in the case of Quentin Sanders, we're talking about a 17-year-old that had an accident, that was in a coma for 2 years, and all his co-defendants pointed the finger at him. Why? Because he was in a coma and they didn't think that he was going to make it, that he was going to live. You know what I'm saying? What's up, D? How you doing? Eddie, how y'all doing? So I think that his case is worth looking into, man. He's in the state of Tennessee. But the thing is, I can see, you look at his prison record, how if incarceration is supposed to be about rehabilitation, then how can a man go 20 years with no incident report and with an impeccable prison record and not be given an opportunity to live out some of his youthful life again? You telling me he got to do 51 years because of an accident, which it was never proven that he was even driving a vehicle that crashed into the police. I'm not saying the loss of the officer's life. The officer made a decision to pull in front of a car that was in a high-speed chase. So he made the choice. I know he didn't make the choice thinking that he was going to die, but he made the choice. When the rules clearly state that if you're in a high-speed chase and once you get onto public throughway or highway, that you're supposed to ease off the chase. You know what I'm saying? So not making an excuse for the officer's death or anything. I'm just saying, in the case of Quentin Sanders, a man who was in a coma for several months, yet and still, when he comes out and go to trial, he receives a life sentence while all of his co-defendants are out now. You know what I mean? So I just think that he deserves a second chance, man. It's a gross misconduct. When you look at all the laws around what vehicular homicide is in Tennessee, the max he could have gotten, if they had threw the book at him under that, was 6 years. But yes, they enhanced him and used this loophole where they was able to give him a life sentence, for that crime, as a juvenile. So we don't think about that as a juvenile. And so it's just where we have to take a serious look with the affluenza team, where they said that he was too rich to understand what he was doing, yet still he willfully went out, got drunk, committed another vehicular homicide, but they just said he was too rich to serve any time. Same age, same difference. The only difference was he didn't kill a police officer. And I still don't think that would have mattered, because they wouldn't have gave him as much time being a young white teen. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. It's just our justice system needs a serious overhaul. And if we're expecting Biden and Kamala Harris to come in and do a complete overhaul, man, I think people have a rude awakening. I think they're going to try to change something, but as far as both of them were tough on crime people, her as a prosecutor and him as a senator, as a congressperson, so he wrote the 1994 crime bill that caused Clinton to sign into law to build more prison. You know what I'm saying? So people won't dig and stuff. Won't dig. Everybody always say, every time I hear people say, well, he's the lesser of the two evils. Says who? Says who? Tell that to Alice Johnson. You know what I mean? Who received a full pardon and went back and got some more people out, just on her name alone. You know what I mean? So when Obama left her clemency pending, there are so many African American men who will still have clemencies pending. Marcus Boyd, Ricky Curry, Eric Gasson, Jeremy Gage, man, just to name a few. It's hundreds and hundreds, man. If you guys have a chance, go on to the Department of Justice website and look at the pardons. Look at the pardons that are still left on the table from the Obama administration. No, Trump haven't done anything about them or signed those into law, but you know it's still a it's still a chance. One thing about it, Obama can't come back and do anything with them. Neither can Joe Biden, and I don't expect him to come in and continue the legacy or continue to be an advocate for criminal justice reform. You know, as people think. And I just don't see that because he's always been a tough on crime type person. You know what I mean? So it's just one of the things, man. One of the things. I know I'm jumping around. I know I hadn't been here in a while, but I really want you to know, man, that I'm still fighting because you don't see me over here. I'm still fighting. I hadn't had a chance to really update my YouTube page. When you get a chance, man, log on and subscribe to Sarah with Sippy. I'm going to post a couple of videos from the Reinvention Center. We're there every Sunday night, you know, at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So if you have a chance, man, jump onto that. You'll see the link on my page, or you'll see it on James Jones' page, or you'll see it on Lisa's Riley page. So we post those so people can come in so we can have conscious talk about criminal justice reform. And if criminal justice reform is something that you're interested in or want to talk about, then hop on and join us, man. Join the lives or join the Zoom meetings and everything. Everybody is welcome, man. You can come with your own opinion. If you want to talk shop about criminal justice reform, we're there every Sunday, no matter what state you're in, because, you know, criminal justice reform needs to happen all over the United States. Every state has a law that affects African American a whole lot different than it does any other race. You know, and if you don't think that that's happening, man, I just suggest that you do a real good Google search on each state and African American who are incarcerated as opposed to all the other races who are incarcerated, and look at the crimes and look at the times in the crimes, whether it's violent or whether it's a first time crime. You know, like here in Mississippi, man, you can get for burglary, and in Texas, man, they're throwing our young black boys away for burglary. You know, we talking about just a simple burglary. You know, they're getting 15 and 20 years as a first-time offender. You know, so that in itself, man, says that our justice system is broken, and our justice system is not geared towards helping us. It's just an extension of that 13th Amendment, what I always tell people, that extension of slavery. Neither slavery or involuntary servitude shall exist except for punishment of crime. So it's just an extension of slavery, man. Our criminal justice system is just an extension of slavery in that 13th Amendment. So the first thing that I would challenge everybody to do is to, hey, what's up, Miss Hudson? How you doing? Barbara, what's up, John? The first thing that I would ask everybody to do is to write Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, ask them are they going to amend or repeal the 13th Amendment. See, the thing is, I hear a lot of people saying, well, they should repeal it. Okay, 13th Amendment conferred freedom upon us. So if you repeal it, then you're asking them to take away the freedom. I think that they just should amend the part where it says slavery should not exist except for punishment of crime. So we have to be careful what we ask for. Don't just ask for a repeal of the 13th Amendment, man. Ask for an amendment, you know, to clarify that portion of it. You know, so that's what we have to be mindful of, man. It's the rabbit hole runs deep, and we just have to take time and look at what affects us the most. What's our fight? We got to pick and choose our battle. And right now, what's up, Tan? How you doing? You all right? Good seeing James and Sent, huh? Man, I had a great time, you know, with my nephew and my niece, and it's been a long time. I hadn't seen them in like 25 years. And it's a shame that incarceration does that to you, man. It just keep you from family that you hadn't seen in so long. You know, I've seen a couple of nephews of mine that I hadn't seen in at least, 25 to 27 years. You know, and it was, you can't catch up. You can't make up for that amount of time in 2 days. But it was good seeing them, man. It was, to be able to build and see that they're doing okay, and to see that love that's still there that's being shared among family. So it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be free and on this side. And that's why I think about and work so hard, man, for the people who are still incarcerated. Like the people in Louisiana, you don't see that on the news. The people in Louisiana at Pollard, they're still without lights. Most of Louisiana is still fighting to get their power restored. So the whole institution, the whole federal institution or complex is running off generators. We had that same thing happen in Yazoo, where we were without power for 45 days and no generators. The only thing generators did was turn it on so they could run the water. Wasn't strong enough to run the air conditioning. So we're talking about these brothers who are incarcerated on lockdown all day with no air conditioning. You know what I mean? And probably let out like once a week to get a shower. So just think about that. People are not even thinking about that. But you see the feds, the same thing that's happening in the state is happening in the federal system. It's just somehow it's some kind of gag order with the news media where everything is not highlighted in the feds. Right now in the feds, man, it's good. It's just like that situation there in Pollard, that situation in Forest City and Beaumont. Man, they're on lockdown like 24 hours, not 23 and 1. We're talking about a straight 24 hours until they get everything. So they put them on a mandatory. The COVID had got so bad. COVID-19 had got so bad. What's up, Brad? You all right? Had got so bad to where they had to put everybody on a mandatory, mandatory lockdown, mandatory quarantine, so to speak. And so it's still bad, but you're not seeing the numbers being reported. You go on the Department of Justice website, they're not updating what's going on at all the prisons because they want to hide it. They don't want you to know. You know what I mean? They don't want the public to know, man, that these people are still getting sick, that these people are still dying. I haven't heard anything with Robert Evans or anything from Button because the people are still, we're talking about at minimum security and the medium. They're still on lockdown. So we're not hearing anything from the federal system. It's like they're finding a way to choke out all the information that's coming out about them. So if you have somebody who's in federal custody or serving a federal sentence, man, check on them and see what's going on. They're pulling these brothers' time and not letting them come home when they're supposed to. They're pulling their dates. They're putting the dates out there, getting everybody's hopes up, and then they're just arbitrarily pulling them. So, man, there's a lot of hidden secrets going on with everything that's going on. So I just ask y'all to check on your people, man. Check on your people. And help us in this fight, man. Help us with the rally with Quentin Sanders. Help us with the rally with Justice for Trey and all the other people, Janet Lee and everything that they're doing, with Plus and everything that they're doing. I know you might not agree with some of the things that they're talking about and some of the things that they're doing, but sometimes extreme change take extreme measures. I'm not saying rap and, go tear up anything. I'm just saying sacrifice a little bit. You know what I mean? What's up, Marcus? You all right? Oh, man, same old thing every day. The hood being the hood. That's all I can say, Marcus. Man, same old thing, different day. The hood being the hood. That's all I can say. But, like I said, I stay above that just so I can stay out of that limelight and out of that way. And I just try to do my thing, man, and help people. You know what I mean? I hadn't forgot about the Catholic school. I'm still waiting to get back with the guys that bought it, so we can come to some kind of terms before I try to invest a lot of time in fixing it up, and he's still going to possibly get rid of it, So I've been waiting on him to get back with me. But you know, I'm gonna give him to the end of the week, and then, like I said, I'm gonna have to like push the button on him. So, you know, we'll see, we'll see. So I'm trying to be patient, let people be people, let people be men of their word. You know, so we haven't forgot about the Catholic school, but ain't nothing going on here in Old Sip, Old Mile Bayou. Same old thing, you know. But I just jumped on, man. You know, I love you guys, man. We'll be out there. We'll be back Sunday at 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock with the Reinvention Center with James Jones. So we'll be out here, man, sharing some things. And so, like I said, our main project right now is helping a young man by the name of Quentin Sanders, who's been locked up since he was 17. You know, trying to get him some relief, man. His family wants him home. You know what I mean? And he hasn't. In the 20-something years, he's taken numerous of classes. He's been mentor to some of the other young people, you know, who are coming in. And so I think he deserves another opportunity at life, man. We can only fight this one case at a time. You know, I applaud you, Amy, for what you're still doing out there. Miss Rogers, what you're doing here in Mississippi. Janet, what you're doing all over the country and organizing. But we got to do more than just organize, man. We got to come to some kind of structured way to fight criminal justice reform. You know, so it's just, man, we got to team up. We got to partner up. Because marching is not doing anything, man, but making our feet tired. What are we getting accomplished by all this marching and everything? You know what I mean? Stop spending your money. Stop spending your money. That's it. Then you won't have to march. Because they're going to march and come out and see what's wrong. That's one thing, man. When you hurt somebody economically, they want to know what's going on. You know, but we're so willing to march, but yet and still, we still continue to spend our dollars with people who oppress us. You know? So be smart with your money, man. Just take care. You know, God bless you, man. Just wanted to hop on and say hi to my fans. Take care. Good night. Stay strong, man. Stay mentally positive. And stay prayed up. Pray for those you love, man. Because that's the one thing they can hear. Anybody and everybody, man. Pray for them. Take care.